All right, we have Louie as our special guest today. Means a lot to me here that you're here, sir. If you don't mind, maybe give the audience some background on yourself and the business.
Um, my business, I started in 95, um, and I do curb and gutter, sidewalks, stuff like that. It's all private. We don't work for the cities, and I've been very successful at it. Previously, I worked for my father. He had a curb and gutter outfit. I worked for him for about 15 years. After some heart problems for him, he didn't retire, but he didn't come to work either. Uh, so I ran the company in my early 20s, and I kept it up to about my 50s. And about that time, it was time to part ways. So I started my company. Didn't uh, didn't start off on the right foot. Got a job or promised we'd be paid right away because, as you know, or anybody starts a company, the first thing they need is money and lots of it. You have to pay your everybody that's working for you. You have to pay all your materials. You have to pay for yourself, all your insurances, and nobody tells you that up front. But it was a slow start, but I got going on it.
So it was originally a legacy business. Your father was in the same industry.
Yes.
And then tell me about that. How was that? Did you inherit the business for him, or did you start a completely separate business? How was that experience for you?
I started a completely separate business. Um, I went on vacation for a couple of weeks from his company, and during that 2 weeks, I found my own yard, started my own business, and I came back to help him out to tell him I was retiring from his business and started another one. And he says, "Nope, we don't need you." So I said, "That's fine." So I started my business that way, and he continued his business on for several years after that.
It's funny that you're saying this because I have a client right now, and there was a similar dynamic. He's experiencing what you experienced decades ago, where his father's running the company, and he feels like he's kind of under the thumb of his father and feeling that there's a ceiling. Was that transition difficult for you? Was there confrontation, or was it just this is what it is, and hey, kid, you just go out and take the risk if you're willing to?
No confrontation, lots of confrontations.
Yeah.
Um, in building the business, he wanted to come back into business and run things. After I've established my clients running his business, he wanted to go back to his clients, where I had lots of problems with his clients as far as money was concerned. They wouldn't pay on time. They were just horrible at collecting money, and they liked to stretch me out. He liked it because they paid a little bit more, but I didn't have time for that. But he was working with these companies for years, 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 and he was used to it. He would come and tell me, "No, we're going to do this job Monday." Uh, that I've already got it scheduled the rest of the week. Nope, we're going to do this one Monday. I can't do it. It's scheduled. My clients were working for um, one of my good clients, matter of fact. Anyway, we had to go do his job, and stuff like that would come and play between us, and it just got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore.
How did you differentiate your services from his? Like, what made your business different than the way your father's business was and it was operated?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
We're exact same business. That's what I was taught. That's what I was learned. I was going to do the same thing.
You know, it's fascinating because I think oftentimes, and I just told this to a group of young entrepreneurs recently. What I have noticed in terms of success patterns of business owners is it's often not the guy who took all of this risk. And oh, I just started this business from scratch and knew nothing about it. I started out of my dorm room. That I have found from my experience is the anomaly. I have found more often it's the guy who worked or the gal who worked for an existing company, learned all the tricks of the trade, oftentimes in sales, and then he said, "Hey, I'm just going to put my shingle over here and do it on my own." It seems like you had a similar experience.
Yes, same thing.
Yeah.
Um, well, I did start my company. It was slow starting, but I did very well. I just got so stretched out with work, and our type of work, you do the work, but you don't get paid for 30 days.
Mhm.
So if you do $1 million job and you can complete that much in 30 days. You owe lots of money to lots of people.
Mhm.
And if they don't want to pay you for 30 days, 90 days, you're hung on for that much money. Um, my issue was trying to find a company that would work with me, and I got a real nice deal with one guy. I just completed a job with him and working for my father. Again, several months later, he called me up. He said he asked me to do a job for him, and this is up in Nevada. And I said, "Well, I can't do that. I don't have the money for it." "Well, how about if I pay the concrete?" "Well, that's okay. The concrete will work with me. They'll get paid when you pay me." Um, it was a it was a nice job. He said, "Louie, don't give me an answer. Let me fly you up there." So I flew up there, got a car, checked the job site. It was just like driving into Orange County. Same thing. So he said, "Louis, I'll pay you every week. That way you can pay your labor and do the
Mhm.
job for me." He was having a problem with his contractor. So he kicked the concrete contractor off the job, and I finished it.
Let's dissect the business if you're okay with this. So you diverge from your father, you start your own company. What type of clients are you running after? How do you get the clients? And is it different today than it was back then?
It's absolutely the same.
Okay.
Uh, like I was telling you, my father had his clients he worked for. I had my clients I worked for. We're all doing the same work. And when I left, I wanted to take these clients. They weren't sure where to go with me because they had been working under my dad's umbrella,
Mhm.
and I was just working with them. But I took them. They went with me because they knew me real well. Uh, my dad didn't care for them. He wanted his clients, so he stuck with his. So it wasn't. It was a nice breakup for both of us.
And I apologize if I missed it. Are these retail level clients or these commercial businesses?
Commercial business.
Commercial businesses. Okay, so you take those clients, and then I'm assuming you acquired other clients after that.
Correct.
What did that process look like? Are you knocking on doors? Are you cold calling? Is it word of mouth? What was it?
There's so many ways you can find a client.
Mm.
Um, just I was taught, well, if you see a job going up, stop in, get a card, drop your card off, talk to the people there, tell them that you're looking for work and you would like to do the work. Sometimes they don't give you the time of day. Sometimes they do. If they want you to bid the job, well, here's the plan. Go ahead and bid it. You spend a couple hours bidding the job right there, and you give them the work. Sometimes it's a waste of time. Other times, it's they'll call you back. Hey, the guy we usually have is busy right now. You can do it. Great. That's another way of doing it. Um, there, again, there used to be a, a paper called the Green Sheet,
Mhm.
and they would list jobs that are coming up for bid. You can go after these jobs. They have different categories. Excuse me. They have jobs that are going up for bid, and jobs who have already bid, and the contractors who got them. They have an area for permits going out.
Mm.
So if you can see somebody with a permit for a job, they're pulling permits on it. They haven't even started anything. Dirt hasn't moved on the job site. Call them up, and they'll wonder, "How did you get our information? How did you know? How do you know what's going on?" "Well, you got a shopping center going up. It's going to be here in Brea, and if you'd like, I'd like to bid it for you." "Well, okay." So that's one way of doing it. You get these other jobs. There's about 20 jobs right there. Projects are bidding, and you can go bid every one of them if you want to. If you have the time and effort, you can go bid every one of them. But you're not certain which guy is going to get it. So somebody down that list might get it. Now you go to the one that they're already done. They've already bid the job, and they've got the job. I like to go to those guys. They have the work. You're dealing with one contractor.
Mm.
You ask him to bid it. He probably already got an idea of what it's going to cost. Well, I'll go in and bid it for maybe 100,000. They've got another job. They've got another bid for, I don't know, 98, 95, 120. Who knows? But you've got a better chance of bidding to one guy who has the work already.
So I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. So one channel of acquisitions is just door knocking. Hey, I'm going to leave my card. If you need these services, amazing. Oh, if you want a quote right now, we'll try to get it done on site as quickly as possible. It could take us a few hours. So we'll call it, that's boots on the ground. Then we have green sheets, I think you're calling them.
Green sheet, yeah.
And that's some sort of market data that says, hey, these are potential prospects at different intervals of stage of build, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what was the third source of acquisition? I didn't catch it.
Just going to the people who have the job already.
Got it.
Now that same green sheet will list a job, and now that sheet of bidders here, everybody's bidding these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
The people over here on this course already went through that process and they got the job.
Oh, so the green sheet shows
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Now, if you can go and ask these people to work, or if you could bid it, and you might get it, but then there's other contractors that go, that's bullshit. I don't like negotiating. I just want to give my bid to the city or whoever it is and get my bid in there, and yes or no, I got it or I didn't get it. The bullshit about negotiating is not very good. Those are words I heard from my uncle. He also has a business,
Okay.
and I just nod my head. Okay, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I'm thinking that's all I do is negotiate my work.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Fascinating. Okay, so we've got any more acquisition channels you had?
Yeah, word of mouth.
Got it.
Word of mouth. Companies, that's the work we're doing right now. I don't care for it.
Okay.
Apartment complexes.
Okay.
My company is doing almost all apartment complexes. That's my son, my daughter, and those guys that's the work that they go for. I was working for a company and they had 4 project managers, so they did different jobs in the area, apartment complexes. He was fed up with it, the owner of the company, so he folded shop. The 4 project managers he had went to different companies that did apartment complexes. So now, since we did so well with this company, they pulled me into their company,
Got it.
each individual one, and showed me, they wanted to show us off as one of their prime contractors. So again, if we do a good job for them, these guys would say, try this company. So they've got a bunch of different jobs also. We successfully negotiate some of those jobs. This other guy, the same thing. This other guy, the same thing. Consequently, I've got 12 apartment complexes going up.
Amazing. It seems like you probably teach us a thing or two about negotiating. What have you learned?
Negotiating, set up your meetings early, do a face-to-face, and bring plenty of pastries.
Interesting. So face-to-face, big deal for you guys.
For me.
Okay.
Now it's different. My son does a lot of negotiating with people, not face-to-face. It's all on emails.
Interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's full of shit, but I'm not him.
Yeah.
I'm not there. They're dealing with another generation of contractors.
Mm-hmm.
My generation, went up with the dial tone with the phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny. So the interns on the other side of this wall, one of the first things I teach them is knee to knee or ear to phone. And I had a mentor teach me. He said, "Look, think about it like this." He held the phone up to his ear. He said, "Making money, put the phone down. Not making money." He said, "Don't make this overcomplicated. The more you're on communication, think of yourselves as a communications-based company and to stay in constant communication with prospects and clients." And it seems like you have a similar type of philosophy.
Well, that's what I do. That's my philosophy. But again, that's not my kids' philosophy, and I've tried to teach them over and over and over. They refuse to do it my way.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I turned the company over, and they're doing it their way, and they're very successful at it.
Now, did you have a formal succession plan, or was it just something that evolved over time? It's like, okay, I went out of the business. My kids already work in the business, so it just makes sense to take them over. Or did you take the formal route?
No, I was working with them, and when the kids turned 18, I said, "Okay, you guys, no more money, but I'll give you a job." Boy, they did not like that one bit.
Okay.
So they went to work, but they got a lot of money when they were working. So it's hard work. You have to be at the office at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. You get off work at 4 o'clock. You're driving from Orange County back to my office in Glendora. Good hour, solid hour drive. So you don't get home till late at night. You're just beat.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, a few years of that, and then they eventually ended up in the office doing estimating and scheduling. My one son does estimating, my other son does scheduling. I was driving with my son doing the scheduling, and we're going from job to job to job, and I just got fed up with it. and just got fed up with it. And he said, Dad, I'll do it. I looked at me, all right. No, really, I'll do it. All right, go ahead. You go. You go talk to the superintendent. So I'll sit in the truck, and he goes to the superintendent, and they come. The superintendent sees me, so he wants to come talk to me. Next job, the same thing happens. Next job, he goes to talk to him. He was 25 years old, and nobody wants to talk to a kid
Hmm.
doing that type of work. So anyway, I just told him, as much as I like going with you, I can't go with you. You have to go by yourself.
Hmm.
So he started doing that, and that's the main reason I quit. It was traffic. I love doing it. I love bidding work. I love negotiating. I love getting the job. I love producing the job, but I don't like traveling.
Hmm.
The travel on the freeways, as anybody knows, is just miserable. It just wears you out.
Yeah, so you got a bit of fatigue from all the stuff in between the things that you loved.
Correct. It was averaging 100 miles a day, and that was just too much.
Yeah. Is there anything you would do differently if you did it over again?
No, because that's all I know.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm very good at what I do, and over the course of doing this work, I've learned what I don't know. I've tried different things, and I laugh because I'm such a failure at it. Um, I can I can probably do. Let's say I got a job, I sub it out to somebody, whatever it is, and it's a $10,000 job. Well, I could probably do it for 10,000, but I won't make any money. This other fellow can do it for 10,000 and make money at it. So why am I wasting my time doing his job when I can be doing something else and making money at it and have him take care of that for me?
Yeah. Have you come across this idea? Like in our business, I tell our whole team, we do not want to be involved in race to the bottom bids because, as they say, like if you race to the bottom, the problem is you might win. So if you just keep on cost cutting, keep on trying to be the lowest bidder in town, eventually you're going to be the lowest bidder in town, but then you can't operate the business. Have you experienced the same thing and experienced perhaps saying, hey, no, we have to be disciplined towards sticking towards our bread and butter where the margins are appropriate so that we can grow the company?
Once. I did that once. There was no work. Literally, there was no work.
Mm.
I tell my employees, don't come tomorrow. There's nothing. I don't have anything this week. It got so bad, or one job came up, and I wanted it so bad. Well, I how I would do my projects when I bid a job. I figure how much material is going to cost me, how much my labor is going to cost me, and how much profit and overhead I want. Well, I left out my normal profit and overhead, uh, and I just got for bare bones, just so I could keep my employees working.
Mm.
I got the job, we did the job, and I was happy I kept my employees working, but I thought about that never again. That just wasn't worth it.
Around about what time frame was that? Was that a macroeconomic situation or is that
Yes,
a
yes.
okay?
Again, I've been retired for 10 years,
Yeah.
and my work goes back to the 80s.
So when was the hardest part from, let's say, a macroeconomic context?
I don't remember the dates, but I think that was sometime around in the early 90s.
Okay.
Uh, my dad told me a schedule. I think it was every 7 years there's a recession.
Okay.
Um, that didn't work out in the. Yes, it did. From it didn't work out. We had like about 15 years of really, really good work. But I think when I started 95, things weren't good in early 2000s. And then we went to work again in 2008. I think it was a bad recession then.
Yep.
And from then on, I haven't really experienced a recession really bad. It's just been steady work.
Did you, knowing that that's the wisdom that your father shared with you, did you prepare for that in advance, having a certain amount of cash reserves? What was your philosophy around managing financials for the
Well,
business?
just having a lot of cash reserves.
Yeah. Was there a certain number or multiple you used, or was it just a gut feel?
It was a gut feel.
Okay.
It was a gut feel, yeah.
If I had to corner you and say, okay, if we had to use it as a function of operating expenses and payroll, let's say, how long do you think the company could have survived on, let's call it, zero revenues?
3 months.
3 months. Okay. Yeah, we're noticing that there's a trend between the 3 and 6 month markers.
Yeah.
And I know Bill Gates at one point said when he was building Microsoft, he wanted to have, one of his first goals was to build up a year's worth of payroll. And we try to have a similar type of mentality, but I'm always curious about other business owners, like how much they keep in reserve for volatile times.
Yeah, that's average for me. I would think it's about 3 months.
Yeah.
Since that time, it's gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not how much a reserve is, but my reserve used to be really, really low. But since that time, we've tripled it.
Is there any, if you had to differentiate and you're going up against a competitor, what made your company different?
The way we talk to a job, the way we show professionalism, and just the way I'm presenting to you versus somebody else. I went to a job one time. These guys from South Carolina were doing a big shopping center here in Corona. Now, he was interviewing the different subcontractors, and my competitor was right before me. And I walked in during the meeting, and they said, "Hey, Louie, can you walk out? Can you wait?" No, it's okay. Wait right here. So I was listening to him how he was doing it, and they were asking him, "Well, how long will it take you to do this?" "Well, just get ready. We'll rock and roll. We'll get this whole thing done. Rock and roll." Okay, that's pretty good. He leaned on the table. He's got his shorts on, t-shirt on, and it doesn't look very professional. After I heard that, I just kind of smiled and okay, they let him go. Then they started our interview. I had myself, my estimator with me, and they were asking us about what the job is, how bad, how fast we can attack it. And I said, "You guys at the shopping center, we're not going to attack this thing. It's going to attack us. We've got minimum 7 move-ins to do this job. There's no way you're going to get the whole thing done and have the whole thing ready for me." So, yeah, you're right, because we got this building to do first. We'll try to get this area done, try to get there. It was a big job. So they asked me how many people I have and all that stuff. And anyway, and there were some standards that they needed for the job, like where's your mixed designs? Do you know where the medical happens, or just different stuff, paperwork. And yeah, here it is right here. So I had everything for him in a little paperwork, and it was just a simple little folder, but it's all marked out in a folder. And superintendent looks at the project manager. "Do you know how hard it is to get this stuff from a guy?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's here, and here we are. Consequently, I ended up with the project.
Yeah. So what I hear in that is a sense of realism, a sense of transparency and candor, because I think it's so funny. I think oftentimes when I ask people, "Hey, like, what's your unique selling proposition? Like, what makes you unique?" It's oftentimes the basics. Hey, we return phone calls when we get them, right? We try to get our stuff done on time, and if we don't, we let them know in advance. So consistently setting and resetting expectations, so that way they can build a sense of rapport and trust with us.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be some big, glamorous, unique selling proposition. It's just like, are you doing the basics over time?
That's the main thing I find it so superintendents frustrating with other contractors. They don't show up and they don't call.
No call, no show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what else they do. They try to get their office. No, they don't answer. Poor guys are trying to get a job going, get it moving, and it doesn't. They're stuck with somebody like that. I have another cousin that does work, and there was a job I gave him. When I see a job, I get overloaded sometimes, and I call him up. "Can you do this job for me?" "Yeah, I can." So I give it to him. Anyway, he's there for one day, and then he's gone the next day. Superintendent's calling me up. "What's going on with this guy? How come I do here?" I called him up. "Hey, how come you're not at the job?" "Oh, my client called me. He's more important than yours." It doesn't work that way. Either you do it or you don't do it.
Right.
You man up, or even tell me you're not going to show up.
Right.
Then I can show up.
Yeah, getting back to the basics of communication.
Correct.
Right. Otherwise, you're leaving it up to the customer finding out that there's a gap, and that's reflected on you and your reputation.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, we find very similar patterns over a multitude of industries. How consistently, what do they say? It's like being extraordinary is just doing the ordinary things for an extraordinary amount of time, right? Just do the basics, do the fundamentals, repeat over a long duration of time, and you will find that your competitors just kind of fall off. You know, so we have found the exact same thing. And now, if we get to like when you go through all of the duration that you've gone through, how many years was the business? Were you operating the business?
Since 95.
Right, and then now your kids now and how many kids have taken it over?
3.
3 kids now take it over. I mean, that is rare to be able to operate over multiple decades and the business is still going. When we look at success rates of small businesses, you know, as you've probably heard, right, it's like 90% of them fail within the first year, like, and then another 90% within 10 years, something like that. Yep. If you had to give some ingredients as to why you think the business has been able to sustain itself for multiple decades, what would you think the answer would be?
Don't teach failure. Teach success.
What do you mean by that?
Answer your phone.
Yeah.
Show up every day. Don't go out partying every night. There's a lot of things that can distract you. You know, don't drink. Don't screw up like that. You're just concentrate on your business. Concentrate on your family. Those are you've got your hands with those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't get distracted. I can completely agree with the I don't drink at all, and it's not you know, just to piggyback off of what you're saying. I have found that distractions like that will distract you from your core games that you're trying to play.
Yeah.
Business, family, and for me, it's fitness. Just focus on those. Mm-hmm. Let everything else. So oftentimes it's addition through subtraction, as they say, right? Stop doing the stuff that gets in the way so you can focus all of your time on the few things that matter.
Yeah, a lot of people focus on different things: alcohol, drugs, women. Mm-hmm. And it just takes your time away from that, and you're not focused on your business.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever think it would be this successful when you first started out in your 20s?
Yes.
Awesome. Tell me about that.
Well, once I was taught the business, it was always successful. It always was successful. And then when I left, I gave my accountant my business plan. I was trying to get some money from the bank also, a small business loan, and he just looked at it, smiled and nodded. And, okay, well, let's go ahead with it and stuff. So he was my accountant for the first 5 years, and I saw him in a restaurant afterwards. We replaced him, and he goes, "Louie, I've never seen anything like it. You showed me a business plan." I just smiled and nodded, but you did it. You did exactly what you said you were going to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, your story, and knowing what I know of the business and how long it's been around, it's such an anomaly. Did you stick with one product, if we could, for lack of better terminology, or did you pivot? And did you stay with one type of client? I know now there's different clients in there, the apartment clients.
No, the business has evolved quite a bit.
Okay. How so?
Like I told you before, my father liked to do curb and gutter, and in these tilt-ups like here in Orange County, he would do them all day long. And I would ask him, "Dad, why do we have to go to Orange County? I want to go to Riverside over there. You get $4 a foot for curb. We're getting $6 a foot in Orange County. Why would we go? Why would we go down there when we get more money over here?" Yeah, but the traffic's so bad. Well, you're not driving every day. What's the difference? I am driving every day, damn it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. He found a client out here that he just worshipped, and he worshipped him for a reason, because he was getting top dollar with his client. And he did a lot of work with him.
Now, that was one pivot, so moving geographically.
No, just moving the product that he does. Then we do sidewalks. I went with another client when he retired, semi-retired, and I started getting clients, and then we started doing bigger projects. His job was just doing about, let's just say, $10,000 a day worth of curb, and he'd make a lot of money at it. Well, it was just frustrating going from one job to another, to another, to another, to another. So I started doing site concrete, all the sidewalks, all the fancy work, and he didn't like that at all, because he just wanted to hurry up, get in there, and get out and get his money. Well, I saw it was, we can I could finally get a bigger job, and I'm there for about a week instead of just 2 days, which gave me some breathing room.
Right, right,
And that's how I started doing different stuff. My father didn't like it, but you know, he didn't understand that you could make money at it, same amount of money, but in a different way. Because at the end of the day, he'd count how much money he made. This other way, I would have to prep it, form it, finish it, strip it. It would take 4 days to make the same amount of money. 4 days of this versus 4 days of him, but we'd make the same amount of money. So to me, it was nicer for me because I could keep the crews in one spot for a long.
right. Yeah, so you didn't have, there was not as much switching time and cost.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
But since I was the only one doing the estimating and doing the scheduling, I needed that time to breathe.
Right.
Well, as time went on, I got another estimator, so he helped me quite a bit on the bidding department. And I got another estimator, he helped me even more. Uh, I was up to 3 estimators, and we're doing lots of work. And I was up to having somebody else help me do the scheduling and stuff. And it was okay. We just spent a lot of money though on estimators. They just take a lot of energy. We weren't making that much profit with them. So I just getting one guy, one estimator helping out.
Got it. Now, in your business, is there any upsell markets there, or is it we just come, we bid on this one job, or can you transition it into another part of the job on the same site?
As I told you before, my father did one thing, and I
Yep.
wanted to switch it to do this.
Yep.
Now my kids switched on me, and they're doing apartment complexes. And again, it's a lot more fancy work. I don't care for it, but I'm not doing it. My kids are,
hmm
and that's okay. If they get along and they can make money at it, I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what other kind of work they're going to go after next, but who knows?
And then how large in terms of headcount, if you don't mind me asking, is the company now?
30.
Okay. And is there a sweet spot that you found? Hey, if we go above this headcount, it gets dysfunctional. If we go below, it's non-operational.
30 is good.
30 is good.
Yeah. I run 2 crews that way, or I can run 3 small crews that way.
Okay. Now, will you or would you have or will your kids decline work if it requires an expansion of workforce or no?
We haven't had that issue.
Okay.
It's again, we get a real big job or something. Let's say $1 million job worth. It seems, God, how am I going to do that? You start, but if you start analyzing it, they're not going to have it already at once. It's like $100,000 jobs.
Mhm.
You can look at 100,000 jobs. You will be in there for 5 days or 10 days or whatever it is, and you could break it up that way. You can't have 2 of them at once because you're really going to kill yourself.
Right.
You've got other miscellaneous work to do too.
Yeah. How do you manage that? How do you manage, right, focusing on what you're making money for right now and completing the job versus going and getting additional jobs?
You have to have uh, what do you call it? You have a list of all the jobs I have. I have uh, how much is done on each job,
hmm
what percentage is done, and then all my new jobs in the same list. So I'll have about 30 jobs on this paper,
hmm
and it'll show me that I've got this job to complete. It's halfway done. I've got this job. It's halfway done. This job, it's not even done. Or nothing's done on it. So let's say the first job is $1 million.
Mhm.
I'm 50% done. That's I've got, and I go to the end. I've got $500,000 left to do. This other job, I've got 500,000 left to do. This job I haven't started. It's $1 million, and I can only handle $3 million at a time. So I can pick up one more job at $1 million or 10 more at 100,000.
Got it. So you have some sort of pipeline that's
Yes.
documented,
Yeah.
and that number is a real number. The 3 jobs. Hey,
That's a real number.
that's our
That's a
threshold.
hard number that goes every 30 days. We at billing time, we can bill the jobs. We know exactly where we're at.
Okay.
Meantime, and we've got new jobs, we keep adding on the list. At the same time, we're taking jobs off the list.
And I'm assuming at some point there's a conversation of, hey, yes, we can get to you after this next batch. Are you okay with the timelines of when we start? Is it
We get timelines on jobs when we start, when we get the contract,
okay?
and we can tell roughly where they are. Again, if we want to get another large project or we're just starting one, that's okay. It's not going to be for us for about another 9 months to a year.
Got it. Wow, it can be that far out.
Yeah.
and the customer will accept that. Okay, we're at a year because
yeah.
we're not going to be ready
Yeah.
for it for X amount of
No,
time.
they'll give us a schedule.
Okay.
They have got a schedule for how fast they're going to go,
Okay.
and we're down the line. And once we start the building, we're way down the line on it.
How much of the industry is reputation based?
I have no idea. I
Okay.
have no idea.
Because do they look at, let's say, what the services you provide and say, oh, he's got a history, like that company's got a history, they do a great job? Or is it, hey, just the Venn diagram of timing worked out and they're on the approved vendors list, so we'll use them?
There's both. There's well, first of all, when you negotiate it, you said, can you do it? First of all,
Mhm.
yeah, we can.
Mhm.
But then there's other guys on the list that general contractors don't really give a shit about you. They really don't care as long as you can fill your obligation. If you've got a contract for it, okay, you can. You're the guy. You're the low man in the totem pole. You got the job, and they could care less.
Got it. So, biggest win, if you don't mind sharing, was the biggest win of the company to your recollection? And then also biggest challenge.
Well, one of the biggest wins I had, I just by the day. Stamped concrete is something that I bid, I can do, but I give it out to somebody else. On that particular day, I had my crew out there doing some work. At the time, we're making with my crew $5,000 a day. With this one stamped concrete guy, I had him doing work on this area, and I was making probably about 5,000 off a day off him. And I had another stamped concrete crew doing the same thing on something other parts of the job, another 5,000 that day. So my day was tripled.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
How about biggest challenge that you recall?
One of the biggest ones I had was a parking lot, just a concrete parking lot.
Mm.
I don't know how many acres it was, but it was huge, just biggest job. I said, how am I going to bid this thing?
Yeah.
Just the numbers were staggering. Um, okay, I just took a little section of what I could do in a day. It's going to cost me so many yards. My labor is going to be so much. My materials are going to be so much, and my labor is so much. And this is how much I want per day, as far as my profit and overhead. And I get that per square foot. That's what it's going to cost me to do. So I just bid the whole thing per square foot, and that's why I turned my bid.
Love it.
So the contractor, he asked me, Louie, have you ever done a job this big before? No. Well, how do you bid it? It's just a big patio, and that's the way he did it. He just shakes his head, but that's exactly how I did it. That was my biggest challenge. Again, just bidding the job, and didn't scare me to do it. My challenge to me was how fast can I do it? Can I do more than I bid for? Every day that was a challenge, and I exceeded that. I exceeded my expectations.
Is that a common principle you have? Try to exceed the expectations, which sounds so simple, but very few people do it.
Yeah.
Exceed expectations. Any other principles that pop up for you when I say, hey, Louie, if you had to teach your principles to other entrepreneurs, what would they be?
Just know what you're getting into. Know your market. Know exactly what to bid, and know how much you want to keep out of it. I had one friend of mine. He's a roofing contractor, and he goes, "No, I just bid the material and then I triple it. That's how I do my work." Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And I didn't tell him that, but I go back to my jobs and I look at it. Okay, here's my material. Here's my labor. Here's my profit and overhead. That motherfucker. He's right. It was, but that was another way I check myself.
Okay.
But I have a list of how I bid my work, and then my profit and overhead, and I go per square foot on everything too. And if those two things, the square foot and the profit and overhead, or my breakdown, are not the exact same number, like if this number doesn't come up to, let's do a small job for 30,000, and this one comes up to 45,000. Something's wrong here. So something wrong on my materials, or something's wrong on my square footage. But usually something's wrong in this area. Like 4-inch concrete, and you bid it at 6 inches, and you put too much labor and material in it. So you find your mistake, and these two numbers have to come out. For a third check, I do that what my buddy did. One third of everything. And this in case like that, it should be 10, 10, and 10 with $30,000.
Got it. So Louie, what I'm hearing from your story is don't overcomplicate things, exceed expectations, make sure you fulfill what you said you would do and do even more. Knee to knee, face to face, ear to phone, and then just execute.
Correct.
Yeah.
Stay in communication. Stay in communication. One of the things my kids don't do, they don't stay in communication. Again, going back to the friggin' computer and emails and crap like that. If they want to change order on a job, it's a simple change order. You guys aren't ready. I can do it. I can fix this for it. Then we'll get it ready and get it done today. Okay, well, how much it's going to cost? Just do it. Just do it. And I come back to project manager. He said, just do it. Well, he doesn't have the permission to say it. So I can't pay you that. Okay, you say just do it. It's going to cost me so much. Let me talk to the project manager. Confirm it with him first. Get him on the phone. It's going to cost this. He wants it done now. Do I have your approval?
Yeah. Simple things like that.
He's the one who signed the check.
Right. The decision maker. Can totally understand that. If you have any final words of wisdom for people listening to this conversation, they're business owners or they're about to be business owners, what would you say?
Get a business plan. Get a business plan so you can see what you have to do to make money. A business plan will show you, it'll give you a target of what you have to do.
Now, for somebody who says, well, hey, Louie, but when I create that business plan, isn't it outdated the next day? What would you say to that?
No, it's never going to be outdated. Never going to be outdated. You're going to follow that same business plan for the rest of your life.
Love it. And then would you iterate off of that? Like, would you edit it every once in a while?
No.
Awesome. Love
Because
it.
the same business plan that I used when I started my business 25 years ago is the exact same one I would do right now if I started my business.
Wow. Amazing. Louie, thank you so much for taking the time. I love hearing from successful business owners like yourself that don't overcomplicate it. And it's very much a message of like, just get it done, be a straight shooter, aim high, communicate as much as you can, over communicate if you can, and then keep on building.
Don't forget the pastries.
All right. Now, don't forget the pastries. They will leave on that. Louie, thank you very much, sir.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.